from comic books to focus on being a novelist and write whatever how he wanted to. Gardner Fox and his wife would move to New Jersey and be close to his family, and it was at this new location he created Kofar, Barbarian Swordsman, in 1969. A sellsword inspired by the John Carter adventures, complete with a special sword, Frostfire, a magical sword given to him by magician Gorkon. The story was heavily influenced by Conan. For example, Conan was a Cimmerian and Kofar was a Cambarian. However, Fox would also work in Greek and Shakespearean influences, making Kofar a more intellectual character than Conan. The book was followed up by Kirik, Warlock Warrior, in 1975, which was used to spur the end of the hero's journey. Fox would end up writing over 100 novels over all genres, from science to western to espionage, with notable works being the novelization of Jules Verne's 5 Weeks in the Balloon and the spy series Lady of Lust, which stood for League of Undercover Spies and Terrorists. Fox would also contribute to Dragon, the magazine for TSR, such as Nailed, The Far Travels. The magazine's creators also made the legendary Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game. This would lead to Fox creating his own board game inspired by The Dark Tower in 1981 called Warlocks and Warriors, where players were tasked with escorting a princess from a seaport to her father's castle. Gardner Fox did have a cameo in Captain Carrot and His Amazing Zoo Crew in number 14 at the request of writer Roy Thomas. Fox okayed it on the condition he got a copy to show his grandchildren, and soon he was receiving residuals from DC from reprints of many of his comic stories, thanks to a new deal by DC President Jeanette Kahn awarding royalties to its creators. He also made DC's The 50 Who Made 50 Great list in celebration of the company's 50th anniversary, with more than a few proclaiming that Gardner Fox built DC Comics, though he would dismiss that. In 1973, his sister Kay received the Granite State Award for her work as a librarian, and having never married, passed on her home and work to her niece and Gardner Fox's daughter, Linda Fox Cohen, when she died on October 6, 1993, along with helping promote her father's work, when the fans reached out to her. Meanwhile, Gardner Fox's son Jeffrey enlisted in the Army after graduating from college, serving 2 years as an accountant. In 1978, Fox received the Inkpot Award at the San Diego Comic-Con, and in 1981, Fox was awarded the Jules Verne Lifetime Achievement Award at SkyCon 2. Gardner Fox and Linda were enjoying a quiet life in Rossmore's senior community, with Fox believing himself mostly retired at 69, but was still active with interviews and letter columns. However, in 1977, he struck up a friendship with Timothy Truman, a rising comic book artist at Gen Con X. Truman was soon encouraging Fox to return to comic books, and in 1985, Fox wrote The Saving of Shara for Killer Tales at Eclipse Comics with Tim Truman, and next did Wish Upon a Jewel for Alien Encounters number 4, which was probably his last comic book story. With Timothy Truman, he started to develop ideas for a new Hawkman series, this time on his home planet of Thanagar. This would sadly not come to pass, as on December 24th, 1986, Gardner Fox died at the age of 75. It was a surprise, as, like his father Leon, Gardner Fox was active to his dying day. Unfortunately, he came down with pneumonia, which sent him to the hospital and eventually his death. His funeral was on December 27th in a Catholic ceremony in a closed casket, as his wife Linda wanted her husband remembered alive, and his body was later cremated. Before his death, Gardner Fox had written 4,213 comic book stories by 1980, making him the second most prolific writer in comics after Robert Knier. Mark Gruenwald and John Byrne would write tributes to him. The former was in Avengers number 282 in 1987, with Gruenwald calling Fox's stories masterpieces, and the latter by Byrne being in Action Comics number 598 in 1987, where Byrne said he was the first comic book writer he knew by name. Fox's Hawkman idea would come to pass by Timothy Truman with the now classic Hawkworld miniseries in 1987, which was part of the larger reboot of DC superheroes after the Crisis of Infinite Earths, another legacy of Gardner Fox. The comic book told the story of Carter Hall on his home planet of Thanagar, who works to bring justice to the planet as a policeman despite its corrupt government, a tribute to Gardner Fox's conscious search for justice. Comics today are peppered with tributes to him. Writer John Broome named Green Lantern Guy Gardner after him, along with Gardner Grail in the comic Knight. In Detective Comics number 474, Fox Gardners appeared, and in Astro City, Fox Broome University is a prominent landmark. This continues in TV and film, with Fox Bank appearing in the Flash series episode The Present, where Barry Allen and Jay Garritt Flashes chatted outside. In 1998, Gardner Fox posthumously received the Harvey Award and was entered into the Jack Kirby Hall of Fame. That following year, he was inducted into the Will Eisner Hall of Fame. And in 2007, Gardner Fox was posthumously received the Bill Finger Award for comic book writing. Most significantly, his family was invited to the 2017 premiere of the Justice League, with his grandchildren Theresa and Deborah Fox taking him up on the offer. While the merits of that film are lacking, it did credit Gardner Fox with the creation of the team. Plus, it was revealed that the actor who played the Flash in the movie, Ezra Miller, is a huge fan of Gardner Fox's writing and sought out Theresa and Deborah to tell them so. Perhaps the greatest tribute to Gardner Fox is the enduring legacy of DC and comics itself. From the numerous characters and stories he either created or worked on, there is barely a corner of DC Fox not contribute to, and thus a larger influence in comic books, providing stories of justice and humanity that people root for superheroes to this day. Gardner Fox was truly one of the giants whose shoulders creators today stand on, and his legacy will endure forever. I would like to thank the chief source for these episodes, Forgotten All-Star, Biography of Gardner Fox by Jennifer DeRoss, an excellent book on the writing legend and a must-read for any comic book fan. And now is November 12th, 2020, time for the favorite comic of the week. We Only Find Them When They're Dead, number 3, by Al Ewing and Simone DeMeo, which finds the captain of Ubin II racing through outer space, only be chased by a dogged fighter out for revenge and a personal grudge against Captain Malik himself. All while this chase leads to a surprising twist as another dead god appears, or does it? This is another great high-concept science fiction read by Ewan that really delves into the more personal life of Malik, but also has a lot of fun with it, especially when they find that dead god and the big twist at the end. And DeMeo's art is the real star of the show because he really does a great job with the colors showing just the utter blackness of space. You forget that when you're out in this plain space is pure black with very little light, and this scene is almost terrifying, and then almost an epicness to the vastness of it. And you throw in a giant dead god on top of everything else, and just this beautiful artwork from beginning to end. And this has been one of the best science fiction comic books to come out in recent years. There's great high concept storytelling and great to listen to all around. So yeah, definitely pick it up. But We Only Found It at number 3. That's my favorite comic of the week. And with that, we'll be concluding with the life of Gardner Fox. And join me again next week. We'll be getting on to the troubled genius of Mort Meskin. Till then, go out and enjoy yourself a good comic book.